Hi, my name is Kapil. I'm the co-founder and CTO at Delhivery. Prior to Delhivery, I was with a company called Sapient into IT consulting and services for almost like 8 to 9 years, about 8 to 9 years. Post that, I did two startups in media and in financial space, and Delhivery is my third startup. When I joined Delhivery, at that time we were focusing primarily on food delivery. Way back in 2011, there were startups like Zomato who were doing the aggregation of food menu, and we felt that doing food delivery is gonna be something big. Very soon we pivoted into e-commerce. We saw the e-commerce coming up. That's when some of the other e-commerce giants got initial funding. And we also saw a big gap in the logistics industry at that time. Few things that we really thought of, we really focused on. One, we looked at how do we start bringing transparency into the entire ecosystem. Typically, one would know that a shipment has been dispatched, and after 3 days, it just magically gets dropped at your home or it never shows up. How do we start building more transparency into the systems? The second bigger problem in that time was around cash collections, COD. We started with these two key problems and started working our way around it. In the early days, for example, the COD used to take around 45 days for remittance cycles. We brought it down to T+1. And those are some of the reasons why people would start looking at us and start working with us. One was transparency, second was the remittance cycles were great, and third, we were able to provide them the right service levels. As of now, we cover around 1,800 odd cities. We do around 500,000 to around 650,000 shipments a day. We pick up goods from around 200,000 different pickup locations and deliver across the country. The other key thing we also did was, as and when we would raise money, the idea was to think about expansion, evolving the existing set of systems, of our processes, versus stabilizing. I think there's always a question as an entrepreneur when we look at how much should we continue investing and how much should I stabilize my current business to make it more profitable. For example, if we just focus on our B2C, which is our express parcel side of things, we are a bit positive. But overall, as an organization, we continue to identify new opportunities. For example, in 2012, we started getting into warehousing space, which was a kind of a natural extension to what we were doing, but not something which other players in the market would get into, at least that soon. It's interesting in the early days when we were doing the food delivery. So I think two e-commerce companies saw our bikers delivering food, and they reached out to us saying, "Hey, can you deliver these parcels also?" And that's how actually we started off. We said, "Okay, let's give e-commerce a try because most of our bikers are free between 3 p.m. till 7 p.m. between lunch and dinner, right?" Um, as we started delivering those shipments, people got happy with the fact that we were able to get things done on the same day. We were able to update the statuses by end of the day. That was just the start, right? So the idea was there was, hey, if I just make sure that my precision level, if I say if I'm able to deliver something within X days or X hours, and I meet that, and I'm able to provide the reason if I'm not able to do that, or if I'm able to provide that information in a seamless fashion back to the my client or my merchant, those small things start to build a credibility, right? The other thing which I haven't mentioned so far is whatever systems we have built, whatever processes we have built, um, we always keep our clients and our partners or our vendors, like how will they interact with it and how can they leverage our technology, our capabilities to get things done. We are a very asset light company. We don't own a lot of assets. um, like be it the fleet vendors, be it the field executives who bring their own devices. How do we enable our technology on their system within their processes so they can be more productive as well? So those are some of the things which have slowly built credibility in the ecosystem and also in our partners and our vendors. Sometimes as engineers, sometimes as founders, we get so stuck to our own ideas, our themes, that we fail to step back at times. Sometimes some of us get very emotional about certain things. I think when to let go and quickly pivot or move on to something else is very critical. And an example I was giving on the food delivery and the e-commerce, I think that was a pivot that we had to let go very quickly. At the same time, you have to continue looking out for opportunities. What else is happening in the market? We did go back to food delivery again in 2014, 2015. We again let go of it. It just didn't make sense. There'll always be usual challenges on the people side of things, ability to attract senior people, retain senior people, um, you know, yeah, getting people aligned to the vision. You run a big team. There are a lot of people across the country. How do you make sure everybody is ready for the same battle cry? How do you align those things? So those challenges will remain, and I think those are the growing pains as you grow. You'll find a way to solve some of those challenges.